All right, let's get you ready for that big Java interview. Today, we're jumping straight into a mock interview session. Think of this as your personal training ground, a chance to sharpen your answers so you can walk in, feel confident, and absolutely nail it. Let's do this. Okay, take a deep breath. Imagine you're in the hot seat right now. The hiring manager is looking at you, ready to go. The pressure's on, right? The answers you give in the next few minutes, well, they could change everything. You ready? Let's begin. All right, Section 1, the Java warm-up. Every great interview starts with the basics. They want to see if your foundation is solid. These aren't trick questions. They're your chance to prove you know your stuff inside and out.
First one up, a real classic. The interviewer leans in and asks, so, can you explain the difference between the JDK, the JRE, and the JVM? This is your first test. It's all about showing you understand the entire Java ecosystem. How would you break this down?
So let's break this down. Simple high, bilkul simple. Think of it like a set of Russian dolls. The biggest doll is the JDK, the Java Development Kit. This is your entire toolbox for building Java apps. It has everything, the compiler, the debugger, the whole shebang. Inside the JDK, you've got the JRE, the Java Runtime Environment. This is what you need to actually run a Java program. And at the very core, the smallest doll, is the heart of it all, the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine. This is the magic engine that actually executes your code. So to give the perfect answer, use the JDK to develop, the JRE to run, and the JVM to execute. Simple as that.
Okay, next question. What's the difference between the double equals operator and the dot equals method? Now this trips up a lot of people. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to show you're precise and you really understand how Java works with objects.
And here's the core of it. The double equals is an operator. It checks if two variables are pointing to the exact same location in memory. Think of it as asking, do these two have the same home address? On the other hand, dot equals is a method. It's designed to check if two objects have the same value or content. It asks, do these two people have the same name? That's why when you're comparing strings, you almost always use dot equals because you care about what the string says, not where it lives in memory. Okay, basics are down. You're doing great. Now, let's get to the absolute heart and soul of Java, object-oriented programming. You can't be a Java developer without knowing the 4 pillars of OOP. It's not negotiable. Let's make sure you can explain them perfectly. Here they are, the big 4: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. We're going to go through each one and give you a crystal clear, interview-ready definition. Your goal is to make it sound simple, confident, and correct. First up, encapsulation. The best way to explain this is to think of a literal capsule, for medicine. It bundles the ingredients, the data, and the methods that act on that data into one single protected unit called a class. This keeps everything safe from the outside world. It's all about control and data hiding. Next, abstraction. This is one of my favorite analogies. Abstraction is basically your TV remote. Do you know how the complex circuits inside work? No, and you don't need to. You just need to know that the volume up button makes the TV louder. Abstraction is the same idea. It hides all the complicated, messy details and just shows the user the simple, essential controls they need to get the job done. Then we have inheritance. This one is all about code reuse. Why write the same code over and over again? With inheritance, a new class, the child class, can inherit all the properties and behaviors of an existing parent class. It creates an is-a relationship. For example, a car is a vehicle. This saves a ton of time and makes your code way more organized. And finally, we have polymorphism. Now, this word sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty cool. It literally means many forms. A great way to put it in Hindi is ek cheez alag-alag roop. One thing, but with different forms. In Java, it means you can have one method name that does different things depending on the object it's working with. Think of a draw method. For a circle object, it draws a circle, but for a square object, it draws a square. Same action, different results. Awesome. You've just aced the theory part. Now the interviewer wants to see if you can apply it. They'll often ask you to compare two things to test your practical knowledge. And a huge favorite is array list versus linked list. So how do you decide which one to use? It all comes down to the trade-offs. An array list is basically a dynamic array. This makes it super fast if you need to grab an element at a specific position. So if your main job is storing data and then looking it up, array list is your winner. But a linked list is made of nodes that are all linked together. This structure makes it incredibly efficient at adding or removing elements, especially from the middle of the list. So if you're going to be doing a lot of manipulation, insertions, deletions, then linked list is the way to go. It's all about choosing the right tool for the job.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about what happens when your beautiful code, well, breaks. A great developer doesn't just write code that works on a sunny day. They write robust code that can handle errors gracefully, and that means mastering exception handling.
Here's a tricky one they might hit you with. Can you explain the difference between the throw and throws keywords? They sound almost identical, but that one little s makes a world of difference. Here's the clearest way to put it. Throw is an action. You use it inside a method to actually create and throw a new exception. You are actively throwing the error. In contrast, throws is a declaration, a warning sign. You put it in the method's signature to tell other programmers, hey, just so you know, this method might throw this type of exception, so you better be ready to handle it. One is an action, the other is a warning. And this all fits into the famous try, catch, finally block. You put your risky code inside the try block. If something goes wrong, the catch block acts like a safety net, catching the error so your program doesn't crash. And then there's finally. Think of finally as your guaranteed cleanup crew. It doesn't matter if the try block succeeded or if the catch block had to jump in, the code in finally will always run. It's perfect for things like closing files or database connections. Okay, deep breath. We've covered a ton of technical stuff. But here's the secret weapon for any interview. It's not just about knowing the right answer. It's about how you deliver that answer. Communication is absolutely key. This quote right here just hits the nail on the head. You can have all the certifications in the world, a perfect resume, but if you can't clearly and confidently explain your thoughts to the interviewer, none of it matters. Your answers have to be satisfying. So how do you do that? It really boils down to these 4 things. Be clear and concise, no rambling. Use simple analogies like the ones we've used today to make complex topics easy to understand. Structure your answer. Start with a definition, then give an example. And maybe the most important tip of all, explain the why. Don't just say what something is, explain why it's important and why a developer would use it. That shows true understanding. And that's it. Our mock interview is over. You have the knowledge, you have the strategy. The only real question left isn't coming from me or any interviewer, it's for you. With these skills sharpened and ready to go, what amazing things are you going to build next? Good luck out there. You've got this.